Welcome to the Passive Profits Podcast from StrayBlogger.com, where you'll learn from people already doing it how to build profit-producing online assets without having to leave the house. Now, here's your host, the guy whose biggest fear is having a boss, Nate Rivers.
All right, welcome to the podcast. This is the Passive Profits Podcast, StrayBlogger.com. My name's Nate Rivers. And what I want to talk about today is, do Ryan Deiss style sales videos work? If you're not familiar with that term, Ryan Deiss, it's basically the PowerPoint type videos that are really simple, where it's just words on a screen, and it's the exact same format of this podcast episode, and pretty much every video that I do online is a PowerPoint style video. We'll get more into why I'm even talking about this and how I thought of this topic. But first, let's read a 5-star review. This is from a podcast listener named Gray Zulu. And he says, Nate's the real deal. Many bloggers have one or two of the traits in the title, but Nate has all three. No small feat in the IM niche. I have bought and followed his course. I'm just starting, but I'm already seeing early positive results. That was a while ago. That was in August 2012. And again, you could help me out with that by going and finding the Stray Blogger Passive Profits podcast in iTunes and leaving a review. But I'll admit it's my own fault because I haven't made a podcast episode. I basically took like a year, I think, without making a podcast episode. So anyways, I'll accept full responsibility for no current review or recent reviews. So the reader question that I've got today is, what is the best step-by-step Kindle publishing guide? There's a couple ways I could answer this. This question was emailed to me just, I think, like 2 days ago by a reader named Eli. And first of all, of course, I'll recommend my own course, which is the Kindle workshop module inside of Stray Blogger Training. I mean, that's how I approach Kindle publishing from start to finish. From my frame of reference, it's how I do it, and I've been pretty successful at it. Kindle is one of the main things I've focused on in the last year and a half, 2 years in my business, and it's made a huge difference. If you set things up right, I mean, you can get your Kindle books to generate leads and get paid, instead of paying like $2 to $3 per subscriber with paid advertising. I do both, but anyways, the other way to answer this question is, I mean, at the most basic level, you just need your ebook in a Microsoft Word document, and you can follow Kindle's. If you set up a KDP publishing account, if you just Google like KDP self-publishing, it's easy to find. It's Amazon's interface where you log in as a Kindle publisher. And if you go to the help section, that would answer all your questions about formatting. So that doesn't give you really, I mean, that will tell you how to actually, publish it and make it look right. I guess the things you'd be missing out on is the whole marketing side of things. How to create a title, how to write your chapters, your chapter titles, your table of contents, so that every little piece of your marketing elements pulls people in deeper and makes them want to actually read your book or buy your book and then read it. Okay, so do the Ryan Deiss style sales videos work? So the way that I came up with this topic to even talk about it, this week I've been going back and cleaning up some of my older sites. I've switched over some of them to Optimize Press. I'm in the process of switching a bunch of stuff over. Anyways, I realized that the sales video on my first info product sales page wasn't working. And this was pretty weird to me because it's still been making sales. So I don't have any idea how long the video hasn't been working. But so I took the video, or the video file, I saw where it was, because I mean this was like 3 years ago that I made this video. That's not even true. It's longer than that. It's like, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years, maybe. And I've used some different video services, or the way that I set up my online videos in that time, especially the first year or so. I was still figuring things out. Anyways, I tracked down the actual file. That one happened to be in an Amazon S3 account. So I downloaded it, put it into my Vimeo account, because I use Vimeo Pro for pretty much all my videos now, except for free ones, those I use on YouTube. And I watched some of it. And this video sucked. I could not believe. You can tell I'm nervous. I'm talking way too slow. I'm like literally just reading the words that are on the screen. I can't even tell if I really practiced it or not. Just no emotion. It's just terrible. And the funny thing is that product that makes sales week in and week out. And it's simply a testament to getting things good enough, and more so just getting a project done from start to finish. So when you create your own info product, there really is quite a bit to do to make everything work from start to finish. You've got the sales video, you've got the membership side you've got to figure out how to get traffic, the whole sales funnel, the autoresponder messages that makes it convert, the sales page itself. Now I will admit, even though the sales video isn't that great, the sales page and everything, it's I remember this because it was the first one I set up. I spent a bunch of time trying different versions. I used Google, I can't remember what it used to be called. Now it's Content Experiments. Basically an A/B split test. I mean, I messed around with that. So I did spend a decent amount of time getting this stuff put together. And I did try, I believe, 2 different versions of this sales video, but they were both the kind of Ryan Deiss style, just pure PowerPoint video. Again, just like this video is that you're watching now. And anyways, it's just a testament to the idea of getting something completely done that is good enough. And, and then you can work on creating traffic streams to your site. You can either buy some traffic or put in a little time and effort, to make the YouTube videos, some audio files, some PDFs, some blog posts, and distribute those around and set up just some long-term traffic streams. So what this video does, though, even though the presentation was not great at all for the things I mentioned, it conveys the message. It tells people what they'll learn, and it tells them to sign up. That's pretty much, I mean, if you had to boil down a successful or an effective sales video formula into 3 steps, you would want it to convey the message. You want to tell people what they're going to learn. Not so much learn, but what is someone going to gain by giving you money and paying for your product? That's what you want to tell them in the video. And then you want to tell them to sign up. So the sales video that I'm talking about, it does those 3 things. And here's an Eben Pagan tip. This is a different way of saying what I just said. In one of his trainings that I went through, I mean, I remember a bunch of key phrases at different times that relate to different things, but when it comes to telling your story or setting up the main sales message that someone's going to get from you, you want to imagine that you could stand there in front of a prospect that's standing right in front of you, and they couldn't say anything because we're assuming a sales video, or they're looking at a computer screen. If they couldn't say anything and you had, a half hour or an hour to tell them everything that they would want to know to be able to decide to buy your product or not, that is exactly what you would put in your sales message. basically your story or your reasons, what they're going to benefit, the whole thing. If you could just stand there and give a one-on-one sales pitch to a prospect standing there, that's what you would make your sales message. And it's effective to put it in these PowerPoint style videos because, I don't know, people can see the words on the screen. They can hear your voice basically saying the same message as, like, you know, the words they're seeing for any given slide. And these things just work incredibly well. And this was the first sales video I ever made. It's just a simple PowerPoint video. It's the Ryan Deiss video sales letter formula style video. And the nice thing about this is, luckily they work as well as they do because you don't have to put your face on video. You don't need an expensive, you know, video camera or a DSLR camera or anything like that. And then you don't have to mess around with video editing a whole lot. You have ScreenFlow or Camtasia or any of there's a bunch of screen recording websites now where you can just press a button and start recording your screen. So there's really just no excuse to not try these out. So the lesson, I guess, the main takeaway is to take action. The biggest thing I would tell you, whatever your project is that you're working on, you need to finish that project. If it's your first Kindle book, if you're trying to set up your first info product, you need to just get that done and don't let the fear of it not being good enough stop you. So that's the lesson for today. And I will have a link in here to Ryan Deiss's video sales letter formula. It's an extremely well done course that makes things very simple, gives you like templates to follow to make high converting sales videos. So that'll be in the post as well. For more information like this, if you haven't downloaded my the Kindle income calculator, then go to strayblogger.com, opt in to one of the opt-in forms. There will probably be a pop-up that shows up the first time you visit the site, and enter your email there and I'll send that to you right away. And you can use that to see how simple it is to hit certain income levels with Kindle publishing and email marketing. So go ahead and do that. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next episode.